All right, so I got this video here that's from MSNBC. They're talking about Trump's abysmal approval ratings, which honestly I kind of feel should be even more on the ground with how he's doing right now.
The people protesting against Trump for him botching the situation with Ukraine and Russia, those people outside the White House today are in crowded company. If you look at the latest approval ratings, the latest polling, national polling on this issue, the latest Pew poll that's just out asked this question, for example, quote, how confident are you that Donald Trump can handle the war between Ukraine and Russia?
Not confident considering, there was just a bombing. This is the day old, so I don't think they're taking that into account. But literally hours after the meetup with Zelensky and Trump, sorry, God, my mind's at a loss here. That there was a bombing, and like obviously he can't handle it. Like there was supposed to be talks of peace. Obviously, the peace didn't happen. I don't know what happened there.
Americans say they are not confident in Trump's ability to handle the Ukraine-Russia war. Americans are not confident in Trump's ability to handle that matter by an 18-point margin. He is 18 points underwater on his handling of Russia and Ukraine. That said, the whole Pew poll on what Americans think right now about President Donald Trump is just one thing after another that's that bad or worse. Are you confident in Trump's ability to handle things with Iran? Not confident by a 12-point margin. Are you confident in Trump's ability to make wise decisions when it comes to global energy issues? Not confident by an 18-point margin. Are you confident in Trump's ability?
I'm confident in his ability to start feeding all of these AI companies our energy, so our energy costs go through the roof, and we're the ones going to be footing the bill for it. You know, that's how it's going to work. That's how it's working right now. All of our energy prices have gone up, and it's because the all of these AI companies are trying to run these server farms, and they're causing our prices to go up because they're using so much of our energy.
Ability to work effectively with our allies. Not confident by an 11-point margin.
Yeah, he's definitely proven ineffective at working with any of our allies. They don't feel like allies anymore at this point. Let's be real.
Are you confident in Trump's ability to manage our policy toward China, our relationship with Canada, our relationship with Israel? No, no, and no. Not confident in any of those things. Do you approve or disapprove of Trump's tariff policies? Oh, Americans disapprove of Trump's tariff policies by a 23-point margin.
That's because our grocery prices are going up. We're footing the bill for this. We're footing the bill for this presidency. That's how it's working. Unfortunately, I lost my job because of this economy. That's what happened.
How confident are you in Donald Trump's ability to make good decisions about foreign policy? Not confident by a 14-point margin. How confident are you in Donald Trump's ability to manage the executive branch effectively? Not confident by a 15-point margin. All in all, what effect is Donald Trump having on the way the federal government works in Washington? Americans say, he is making things worse.
Only 27% say better. So that means the majority here are either saying he's making things worse or things are staying the same. That's kind of insane. Oh, no, I can't do math, can I? 60. No, it's 20%. Yeah, no, 20% or 20% of Americans think that things are staying the exact same. And I honestly can't I can't see how 20% of America thinks things are staying the exact same. Obviously they don't pay for their groceries. 20% of America doesn't pay for their groceries or some shit. I don't know, man. It's outrageous. It's outrageous.
By a 26-point margin, Americans say he is making everything in Washington worse, not better. Would you use the word honest to describe Donald Trump? No, by a 26-point margin.
I wouldn't use the word honest to describe any politician, let alone Donald Trump. But yeah, that's laughable.
Would you say Trump is a good role model? Americans say no, by a 41-point margin. This is a nice one. Do you approve or disapprove of the way the Trump administration is handling information related to the government's investigation of Jeffrey Epstein? 70% disapproval on that.
Yeah, they really need to release those files. It's crazy. I mean, honestly, people are getting really upset about it. Some politicians are too, don't get me wrong, but the American people need to know.
That one. 70% disapproval. Tonight, Fox News is reporting that the deputy director of the FBI, a former podcast host named Dan Bongino, is...
Don't get me started on Pam Bondi. God, what a liar. What a liar she is. Just covering up everything for Trump. Just spewing lies out of her mouth. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Effectively out of his job. He is the FBI deputy director. They are adding another person with that same job title to the FBI to be co-FBI deputy director with Dan Bongino. So you tell me what that means about whether or not Dan Bongino is out of a job. Bongino, of course, has reportedly objected to the Trump administration's efforts to block the release of records related to Jeffrey Epstein. Both before and after it was reported that FBI agents were assigned to redact Trump's name from the files related to Epstein's case. Bongino, a reported critic of the administration's decision on this matter, somebody who has confronted, reportedly, Attorney General Pam Bondi on this issue, among other things.
I mean, there's enough evidence that the people are very upset, Like, we have a pedophile as a president. It's kind of a proven fact at this point. I mean, I don't really care. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Trump's a pedophile. That's how I feel. Those are my feelings. That's not. He was never convicted, but that's how I feel, and it's nasty to feel that way about our leaders.
NBC has not confirmed this reporting tonight from Fox News, but again, the Fox reporting tonight is that Dan Bongino is effectively out. He has had somebody else given his same job title after he reportedly clashed with the White House and Attorney General Pam Bondi over the administration's efforts to suppress the material about Epstein that it holds in its own files.
Honestly, if Trump gets convicted, Pam Bondi needs to also be convicted because she was hand in hand with him in covering this up, and they both need to be convicted for it. No, that's my opinion.
Tomorrow is the deadline by which Pam Bondi's Justice Department is supposed to hand over Epstein-related materials to House Republicans on the Oversight Committee. The Republican chair of that committee says the DOJ will not meet that deadline tomorrow, but they will start handing some stuff over later, soon. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, after they, get rid of Trump's name, that's when they'll hand it over.
But with 70% of the country disapproving of Trump's handling of the Epstein matter, perhaps it is mathematically inevitable that the overall popularity of this president continues to plummet. His support with the American people just continues to drop to, I think, levels that we could not have foreseen at the start of this second presidential term. Trump's overall approval rating right now is underwater by a 22-point margin. By 22 points, Americans disapprove of the job Trump is doing as president. And
it's only going to grow because he's not doing anything right. He's not doing anything for the American people. He's only doing things that honestly are helping him. I don't know what the hell he's doing. It's ridiculous. It upsets me greatly.
This is something we're seeing more and more of. If you look inside those numbers, the country, it turns out, is not just turning against Trump, it's hardening in its turn against him. And what I mean by that is, if you look at just the minority of Americans who say they do approve of Trump, the proportion of Americans who say they strongly approve of Trump is 27%, whereas the proportion of Americans who say they strongly disapprove of him is 47%. I mean, we haven't seen...
I'm on the strongly disapprove side, if you guys haven't guessed already. I think he needs to be kicked out of the office.
Numbers that low for Trump's approval overall. We haven't seen numbers that low for people who strongly approve of Trump since right after January 6th. I mean, nearly half the country now describes themselves as strongly disapproving of Trump as president. The number of people strongly disapproving of him is 20 points higher than the number of people who say they strongly approve.
And when that strongly disapprove gets up to that 70-80%, the White House is going to start seeing people on the lawns. That's all I have to say. Riots are going to roam the streets. People will not be happy. Might be a revolution, honestly.
The country is really against this president by large and increasing numbers, with increasingly strong feelings against him.
And with more and more people losing their jobs and not having anything to do but sit at home and get angry about the rising bill costs and the president who's cutting taxes for the wealthy and getting rid of health care for the poor, yeah, they're going to get upset.
And I think the average authoritarian doesn't much like the idea of elections in general, but I think an authoritarian-minded leader with public approval numbers that disastrous, heading south that fast, might particularly dislike the idea of elections right now, like right now in America this year.
Absolutely horrendous job Trump's doing in this country. That's all I have to say. I couldn't disapprove of him anymore. I never did. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote in general, I'll be honest with you, but I never really cared about politics until Trump became president because it never really affected my life that much, and now all I see is it affecting my life. Have a good day, good. Have a good day. Link in the description for the video. Like, subscribe, all that shit.